Episode 56 U.S., June 13, 2024. PM 2.5 monitoring in Saugus, Massachusetts and woodsmoke around Bard College, New York. In Episode 56 U.S. 2 PM 2.5 monitoring areas are profiled. 1. In Saugus, Massachusetts, where a monitor will be placed near the wind waste facility, probably not near woodbinning and residential areas. From the presentation language, it seemed the PM 2.5 monitor is probably not exactly an EPA standard regulatory monitor, but is also not a Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor. And 2. In an area around Bard College, New York, where Purple Air PM 2.5 monitoring stations are placed near woodbinning and residential areas in some cases. 1. Massachusetts, Saugus. Rosep view. Why is more money expended but woodsmoke will still not be monitored in Saugus, New York? The closer you're getting to residences, the more you're measuring what residents are exposed to. The monitor could monitor PM 2.5 from woodsmoke, among other pollutants, but because of the hyper-localized placing of the monitor near the wind waste facility, which does not burn wood, nor apparently burn what is alternately called biomass, the monitor would probably not monitor woodsmoke. The air monitor is not a Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor. It is an air quality monitor from Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, Mass DEP. 2. World. Burning wood is not renewable energy. So why do policymakers pretend it is? 3. Massachusetts. Dr. Constance Lentz. Forest-derived biomass is a burning health issue. Daily Hampshire Gazette. As a physician who has spent 30-plus years practicing in the Pioneer Valley, I saw many patients suffer and die from lung disease. Wood burning was often a factor, and one of the questions I'd ask of a patient with a respiratory illness was whether they used a wood stove. 4. New York. Governor Hochul encourages New Yorkers to be air quality aware this summer. 5. New York. Bard College. Rosep view of key phrases from the article below. A network of Purple Air hyperlocal air quality monitors between Bard College, SUNY Albany, and the EPA will yield further research results, and Hudson Valley libraries are encouraged to join the Hudson Valley Library Air Quality Network. I have personally suffered, and know other members who suffer, the negative health effects of wood smoke pollution in their own neighborhoods in Kingston, said a founding member of the Hudson Valley Air Quality Coalition. Respiratory and cardiac effects are not limited to times when there are Canadian wildfires in our area. The concept of home equates to safety and security for most people, but when people cannot protect themselves from wood smoke invading their homes, there is a feeling of defenselessness. While we have no control over wood smoke pollution and the attendant PM 2.5 coming from afar, we have the power to enact and enforce policies that address locally produced wood smoke pollution to protect our health. 6. Washington, Seattle, and King County. For steps to stay safe from wildfire smoke this summer. 7. Wisconsin, Green Bay. Burn permits spark debate. 8. Canada, Nova Scotia, Halifax. Burning rules. 9. France, Paris. Tourists evacuated from Palace of Versailles amid smoke from renovation work. Hindustan Times. Wood in the roofing. 10. Africa, Kenya, Nairobi. Cooking and coughing. Respiratory diseases plague Kenya as more people burn wood. 11. China, Tangshan. Tangshan issues work plan for air quality improvement. 12. Singapore and India. Cities air quality moderate. Dust from civil works, power plant, traffic major polluters. Times of India. A study by Nanyang Technological University, NTU, revealed that PM 2.5 pollution was linked to approximately 135 million premature deaths worldwide. 1. Massachusetts, Saugus. Rosep view. Why is more money expended but woodsmoke will still not be monitored in Saugus, New York? The closer you're getting to residences, the more you're measuring what residents are exposed to. The monitor could monitor PM 2.5 from woodsmoke, among other pollutants, but because of the hyper-localized placing of the monitor near the wind waste facility, which does not burn wood or burn what is alternately called biomass, the monitor would probably not monitor woodsmoke. The air monitor is not a Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor. It is an air quality monitor from Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, Mass DEP. This air quality monitor is meant to measure pollution from the wind waste facility. The Mass DEP representative said that the monitor could monitor PM 2.5 from woodsmoke, among other pollutants, but because of the hyper-localized placing of the monitor near the wind waste facility, which does not burn wood or burn what is alternately called biomass, the monitor would probably not monitor woodsmoke. On Wind Waste Facility's website, they say the waste we handle is municipal solid waste, construction and demolition debris, destruction services, and special waste handling. Waste-to energy plants of wind waste disposal are located at Saugus, Massachusetts, as well as Baltimore, Maryland, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Concord, New Hampshire, Falls, Pennsylvania, Gloucester, New Jersey, Hudson Falls, New York, Lisbon, CT, Millbury, Massachusetts, North Andover, Massachusetts, Peekskill, New York, Poughkeepsie, New York, and South Broward, Florida. Excerpts edited by Rosep for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. From the article below, Saugus Air Monitoring Approved, Item Lift. Sean Dunn of the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection said wood smoke would likely not be monitored at the station in Saugus. June 11, 2024. Saugus. The Board of Health voted unanimously to approve the installation of an air quality monitoring station in town. Sean Dunn of the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, Mass DEP, gave a presentation on air quality monitoring at a meeting of the board. The town qualified for air quality monitoring from Mass DEP. Every year, we present an air monitoring network plan for the year. We post it for public comment, and we received multiple comments about a facility here, the wind waste facility, and the need for air monitoring in the area due to that facility. After receiving funding from the Environmental Protection Agency, Mass DEP is now able to install a station in Saugus. The station will be able to measure particulate matter, PM 2.5 fine particulates, coarser PM 10 particulates, black carbon, which Dunn said is an indicator of something primarily like diesel smoke, and wood smoke. Dunn said wood smoke would likely not be monitored at the station in Saugus. Dunn said that the footprint of the station would not be large, and that it is roughly twice the size of the lectern that he was standing at. He added that the station would be powered by electricity and subject to various EPA requirements with regard to where it can be placed. It's going to be a certain distance away from roadways and a certain distance away from trees. Dunn said that typically, Mass DEP looks to put this sort of equipment on public space to avoid concerns about issues such as redevelopment. The most significant point of impact is likely to be the Point of Pines area. I think that's technically Revere, but that wouldn't necessarily mean that there aren't impacts anywhere else. In general, the closer you're getting to the facility, the more you're measuring the impact of that facility. The closer you get to a roadway, the more you're measuring the impact of that roadway. The closer you're getting to residences, the more you're measuring what residents are exposed to, Dunn said. Dunn said that the equipment differs from other pieces of consumer-grade air monitoring equipment, like the Purple Air. The ones that we'll be putting in are made for regulatory decisions. The data gets collected and compared to the EPA's health-based standards and is submitted to the EPA. If we're not meeting the health-based standards, then the state is required to take action at that point, he said. Similarly to the smaller consumer-grade air quality monitors, however, the station that was presented by Mass DEP cannot discriminate between the composition of particulate matter and only determines the concentration of particles present in the air. However, Dunn said that the health-based standards set by the EPA, which determine harmful particulate levels, were developed with only the knowledge of the concentration of particles and not their composition. As a result, the information of what might be harmful to residents is still useful. One monitor was installed previously in Chelsea in around 4 months' time. The biggest factor for the town, he said, would be simply agreeing on the placement of the station. Once that's done, we could start on our end, ordering and getting the procurement on an electrician going. The station would collect data every minute. The data would be consolidated into an hourly average and then rolled up to a 24-hour average from those data points. 2. World. Burning wood is not renewable energy. So why do policymakers pretend it is? Mungabe. Burning wood to generate electricity, biomass energy, is increasingly being pursued as a renewable replacement for burning coal in nations. Burning wood is not renewable energy. So why do policymakers pretend it is? Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. June 11, 2024. Burning wood to generate electricity, biomass energy, is increasingly being pursued as a renewable replacement for burning coal in nations like the UK, Japan, and South Korea, even though wood burning's emissions aren't carbon neutral in practice. The single largest emitter of CO2 in the UK, Biomass Firmdrax, is trying to open 2 wood pellet plants in the state of California. When those trees get ripped out, that carbon gets released. And that comes before we process this wood and ship it. Then we burn it and don't count those emissions. There are at least 4 wood pellet plants in the U.S. state of North Carolina, where biomass giant Enviva has several facilities. Enviva filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy this year, but Enviva remains the single largest producer of wood pellets globally. Enviva is one of several, alongside Drax in the UK, seeking to expand its global stake in renewable energy, a category of energy generation that industry and regulators insist burning biomass belongs in. However, a recent analysis shows wood burning is not renewable and adds more carbon to the atmosphere than coal and gas. But due to complicated language in the Kyoto Protocol Treaty that extended the 1992 United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, several nations and the European Union still allow the burning of wood pellets to be counted as renewable, and thus made eligible for subsidies too. Cutting down trees, calling it carbon neutral, that's just one of those loopholes that is just completely man-made. Related investigations from Mungabe, UK's Drax targets California forests for 2 major wood pellet plants. May 6, 2024. Whistleblower. Enviva claim of being good for the planet. All nonsense. December 5, 2022. 3. Massachusetts. Dr. Constance Lentz. Forest-derived biomass is a burning health issue. Daily Hampshire Gazette. As a physician who has spent 30-plus years practicing in the Pioneer Valley, I saw many patients suffer and die from lung disease. Wood burning was often a factor, and one of the questions I'd ask of a patient with a respiratory illness was whether they used a wood stove. 4. New York. Governor Hochul encourages New Yorkers to be air quality aware this summer. Governor Kathy Hochul, ny.gov particulate matter less than 2.5 microns, PM2.5, 50%. 5. New York, Bard College. Kingston Air Quality Initiative at Bard College reports after 4 years of monitoring of both indoor and outdoor wood burning PM2.5 particles. As last year's Canadian wildfire smoke reminded us, we cannot take clean air for granted. Rozep view of key phrases from the article below. A network of Purple Air hyperlocal air quality monitors between Bard College, SUNY Albany, and the EPA will yield further research results, and Hudson Valley libraries are encouraged to join the Hudson Valley Library Air Quality Network. One consistent observation over the past 4 years is the seasonal trend of higher particulate concentration in the winter and summer months, likely attributable to wood and fuel used for heating and recreation. This trend underscores the ongoing need for more aggressive, sustainable heating practices to combat air pollution in Kingston. I have personally suffered, and know other members who suffer, the negative health effects of wood smoke pollution in their own neighborhoods in Kingston, said a founding member of the Hudson Valley Air Quality Coalition. Respiratory and cardiac effects are not limited to times when there are Canadian wildfires in our area. The concept of home equates to safety and security for most people, but when people cannot protect themselves from wood smoke invading their homes, there is a feeling of defenselessness. While we have no control over wood smoke pollution and the attendant PM2.5 coming from afar, we have the power to enact and enforce policies that address locally produced wood smoke pollution to protect our health. Each of us can contribute to this effort by respecting city laws related to outdoor woodburning and city limits and decreasing indoor woodburning. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Bard College announces the findings of the Kingston Air Quality Initiative, KAQI, after 4 consecutive years of research and data collection. KAQI began in January 2020 between Bard College and the City of Kingston Air Quality Subcommittee, and since then facilitated both indoor and outdoor air quality monitoring Hudson Valley projects. Kingston Cocky's monitoring measured PM 2.5 from the rooftop of the neighborhood center in Kingston. This led to a second regional air quality station at the Poughkeepsie Library, as well as plans for a third station in Newburgh. These neighborhood scale monitors will allow the Community Sciences Lab to more accurately assess air pollution and its effects on people on a neighborhood level. Cocky's main monitoring efforts focus on a regional assessment of air pollution from fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, made up of microscopic particles from burnt fuel that are released into the air from both indoor and outdoor wood burning. PM 2.5 particles are so tiny that when these particles are inhaled, they can enter the bloodstream through the lungs. The World Health Organization, WHO, states that small particulate pollution has health impacts even at very low concentrations. 2023 stands out from the past 4 years. After 3 years of decreasing daily average levels of PM 2.5 from 2020 to 2022, we saw an increase in 2023. Annual mean PM 2.5 was higher in 2023 than the 3 other years currently on record. Some of this increase is directly attributable to the wildfire smoke we experienced from Canada in June 2023, which may be a new reality. Cocky has developed a new inversion dashboard tool, providing real-time updates every 12 hours on potential atmospheric inversion days at https://cesH.new-york-daily-inversions. This tool empowers individuals to assess how their actions, such as wood burning, allow residents to proactively choose cleaner alternatives. Cocky's findings can be found at the Center for Environmental Sciences and Humanities website, https://cesH.bar.edu/kingston-air-quality-initiative-Kochi/ as last year's Canadian wildfire smoke reminded us, we cannot take clean air for granted. If any libraries are interested in joining, please reach out to csl@bar.edu. In partnership with SUNY Albany and the EPA, conducting indoor and outdoor air quality monitoring in homes with wood smoke. Please visit https://sesh.bar.edu/Kingston Air Quality Initiative Kochi/6, Washington, Seattle, and King County. For steps to stay safe from wildfire smoke this summer. Public Health Insider. ROSEPView. All these 4 steps to stay safe are what to do after the fact. The first step should be to stop indoor residential wood burning's contribution to air pollution yourself. The steps are 1. Check the air quality monitor. 2. Avoid outdoor exercise. 3. Watch for symptoms of smoke exposure and contact medical authorities if needed. 4. Make a clean room, or stay inside your sealed home with multiple air purifiers running. ROSEPView. This is what near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners already do in reaction to the wood smoke emissions of PM 2.5 from indoor residential wood burning entering the near neighbor's yard and sickening them. Excerpts edited by ROSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. June 12, 2024. Because wood smoke particles are so tiny, KN95 masks may not offer the same level of protection as an N95. While cloth masks don't provide much protection, Public Health Insider official insights from Public Health, Seattle, and King County staff. 4 steps to stay safe from wildfire smoke this summer. Breathing wildfire smoke can harm everyone's lungs, heart, and overall health. And this year we're expecting more smoky days. 4 steps can help you and your loved ones stay safe when wildfire smoke is in the air. 1. Check the Air Quality Index, or AQI, to see how smoky it is outside. Check current conditions and forecasts at airnow.gov. Or scroll down on your weather app too. Avoid outdoor exercise and move indoors when it's smoky out. If you're at higher risk from smoke, move indoors if the AQI is 100 or higher. When the AQI is 150 or higher, everyone should move indoors. If you need to be outside, an N95 mask can help to protect most people from smoke. 3. Watch for symptoms of smoke exposure. Move someone inside if they have a headache, sore throat or nose, cough, burning eyes, dizziness, or wheezing. Keep inhalers and medications ready. Call or text 911 if someone has serious symptoms from breathing smoke, like trouble breathing or chest pain. 4. Make a clean room in your house with a HEPA filter. Close windows, curtains, and blinds and run AC or a fan to stay cool. Wildfire smoke is unhealthy for everyone, especially after heavy exercise or spending long periods of time outside. In Washington state, researchers have found that more people need to visit an emergency department for heart and lung issues after smoky days. Children and young to middle-aged adults, ages 19 to 64, who exercise outdoors are at high risk of these emergency visits. A reminder that exercising outdoors on a smoky day can be dangerous for everyone. Smoke from forest fires contains tiny particles and other chemicals that can irritate your eyes, nose, throat, and lungs, and cause widespread inflammation. It can also trigger asthma attacks and worsen existing lung, heart, or circulatory conditions. From It's Not Your Imagination, Smoke Season has become real in Seattle, October 22nd, 2022. https://www.seattletime.com/seattle-news/environment/it's-not-your-imagination-smoke-season has become-real-and-Seattle. If you have an HVAC system, use filters with a high rating, MERV 13 or higher, and set the system to recirculate. If it gets too hot indoors, move to a mall, library, or other air-conditioned building. Portable HEPA air cleaners designed for one room are available online starting around $50. Replace filters when they become noticeably darker, which will happen more quickly on smoky days. If you can't avoid spending time outside when it is smoky, well-fitting N95 masks offer good protection from wildfire smoke for most people. See this PDF for more information. Because wood smoke particles are so tiny, KN95 masks may not offer the same level of protection as an N95. Talk to your healthcare provider and remember that moving indoors is the safest option. Check kcrh.org/news for a list of cooling shelters on extremely hot and smoky days that are open to everyone. Receive alerts about hazards in King County by signing up for Alert King County and Alert Seattle. Visit our wildfire smoke preparedness page for print resources. The EPA has detailed instructions about making a clean air room. Check airnow.gov daily for the latest air quality reports and forecasts. Visit our hot weather preparedness page for information about staying safe in the heat. Published June 12, 2024 7, Wisconsin, Green Bay. Burn permits spark debate. WTAQ News Talk. 97.5 FM. You can't burn trash or plastic or all this different stuff. It needs to be clean untreated wood. Nina Menashe Fire Rescue says it's not out. Excerpts edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. June 12, 2024. Nina, Wisconsin, WTAQ-WLUK, in some Fox Valley communities, those campfires can't happen without a permit. From Appleton to Oshkosh, Nina, and Menashe, those 4 Fox Valley communities all require recreational burn permits. All residents in those cities who plan to have recreational fires, like a campfire, in either a fire pit in the ground or a portable pit, need to have a permit before striking a match. The permits range from $15 in Oshkosh to $30 in Appleton. Nina Menashe Fire Rescue says it's not out actively looking for recreational burns in the city limits. But if it gets a complaint, it will check it out and make sure residents who are burning recreational fires have the proper permitting. Citations and fines are possible, Dorn says, but usually only in cases of repeat offenders. 8. Canada, Nova Scotia, Halifax. Burning rules. Regulations. Fire, Halifax Regional Municipality. Information about burning outdoors in the Halifax Regional Municipality. Learn more about outdoor wood burning appliances, campfires, and brush. 9. France, Paris. Tourists evacuated from Palace of Versailles amid smoke from renovation work. Hindustan Times. Wood in the roofing. The office said local firefighters quickly put out the smoke. 10. Africa, Kenya, Nairobi. Cooking and coughing. Respiratory diseases plague Kenya as more people burn wood to save money. ABC News. The Walt Disney Company. Burning biomass such as firewood is the largest contributor to those diseases, said a scientist with the Kenya Medical Research. Respiratory diseases plague Kenya as more people burn wood to save money. KSQ Associated Press. Nairobi, Kenya, AP, Clean Cooking Initiative. Introducing stoves that use less charcoal and firewood. Cooking and coughing. KTVZ Nairobi, Kenya, AP. In Kenya's capital, a woman cooking with firewood engulfs herself in smoke as she heats herself some tea. She isn't aware of the impact on her. YouTube, Kenya. Respiratory diseases plague Kenya from burning wood. World of Africa, WION News. She isn't aware of the impact on her. 11. China, Tangshan. Tangshan issues work plan for air quality improvement. Mistil, PM2.5, particulate matter that can damage human health when inhaled into the lungs, by 20% from the average in 2020 to reach 40 mg/cum by 2025. China's top steel-producing city of Tangshan in North China's Hebei province issued an air pollution control plan on July 1st that it wants key industries regarded as heavy polluters to observe throughout this month as the city of 7.9 million intensifies efforts to improve air quality. 12. Singapore and India. Cities air quality moderate. Dust from civil works, power plant, traffic major polluters. Times of India. A study by Nanyang Technological University, NTU, revealed that PM2.5 pollution was linked to approximately 135 million premature deaths worldwide. Asia. Air pollution killed 135 million people in last 4 decades, landmark study finds. The Independent. PM2.5 pollution is caused mainly by vehicular emissions, industrial processes, wildfires, and dust storms. Asia had the highest number. Study links 135 million premature deaths from 1980 to 2020 to PM2.5 exposure. Down to earth. Silent killers. Fine particulate matter, PM2.5, led to a staggering 135 million premature deaths worldwide between 1980 and 2020. A new study has shown